We've all been there, stuck on an airplane, wishing for it to be over. Maybe the baby next to you won't stop crying. Maybe the guy behind you keeps kicking your seat. But on this American Airlines flight, things were about to get a whole lot worse, and a whole lot weirder. Buckle up, folks, because this is a story about farts, fire, and the FBI. It all started innocently enough, a plane full of people cruising at 30,000 feet, dreaming of their destination. Little did they know they were about to experience something truly unforgettable. Something that would make them say, "You won't believe what happened on my flight." But this wasn't your typical travel nightmare. This was about to get ridiculous. Imagine this. You're on a plane enjoying a tiny bag of pretzels, when suddenly a strange smell fills the air. It's not the usual airplane food smell, it's something else. Something powerful. Something kind of like rotten eggs mixed with a hint of despair. Passengers started sniffing the air, their faces contorted in disgust. What was that smell? Where was it coming from? The answer, my friends, was blowing in the wind, or more accurately, wafting through the air conditioning system, from seat 23B. At first, people tried to ignore it. They held their breath, they fanned the air with the in-flight magazines, but the odor was relentless. It was like a stench monster had taken up residence in the overhead compartment and was refusing to leave. Whispers started circulating. "Did you feel that?" one woman whispered. "Oh my God," another passenger gagged. The tension in the cabin was thicker than the smell itself. Mayday. Now you might think people would just ask the source of the smell to, stop. But this is where things take a turn for the absurd. Instead of owning up to her, shall we say, digestive distress, the woman in seat 23B decided on a different approach. Her solution? Matches. That's right, folks. This woman thought the best way to mask the smell of her flatulence was to light match after match, because clearly nothing says fresh air like the pungent aroma of sulfur and fire hazard. The smell of burning matches only made things worse, creating a toxic cloud of stink and smoke that quickly filled the cabin. Passengers started to panic, some coughed, others gasped for air. The flight attendants, bless their hearts, were completely overwhelmed. They rushed up and down the aisle trying to figure out what was going on. The pilot's voice boomed over the intercom. "Is there a doctor on board?" But even medical expertise couldn't fix this hot mess. This wasn't a medical emergency, it was a full-blown olfactory catastrophe. As the plane descended into chaos, the pilot made the only decision he could, an emergency landing. The plane was diverted to Nashville, where a very confused and unhappy group of passengers disembarked. But the story doesn't end there. Oh no, this is where the FBI gets involved. Because apparently, lighting matches on a plane isn't just bad judgment, it's a federal offense. The woman from seat 23B, now infamous for her unique brand of air freshener, was met by FBI agents who were just as bewildered as everyone else. Her explanation? She claimed she didn't know lighting matches on a plane was a big deal. The FBI, however, was not amused. After a thorough interrogation, and probably a lot of air freshener, the woman was released without charges. But she didn't get off scot-free. Oh no, American Airlines banned her from ever flying with them again. A small price to pay for unleashing a biohazard and causing a national incident, some might say.